Picture this. It's 1981. Disco is dying. Neon is everywhere. And in a Sears department store in Florida, a tragedy strikes that will change America forever. 6-year-old Adam Walsh disappears, and the nation loses its collective innocence. But out of that darkness, oh, sweet revenge. John Walsh, suburban dad turned full-time vengeance machine, doesn't just grieve. He transforms. One minute, he's building luxury hotels. The next, he's building a national database to track down every creep, crook, and coward coast to coast. And America's Most Wanted? Well, it becomes every fugitive's worst nightmare. Justice had a name, and it was Walsh. So join us as we trace the sad but true birth of America's Most Wanted and how a father's worst nightmare turned into a criminal takedown machine with a capture rate that made the FBI look like mall cops. So grab your tissues and your popcorn. Justice is coming, and it's wearing an 80s sports coat. That's today on Death in Entertainment.
Live from Los Angeles.
911, what is your emergency?
Here in Hollywood now.
2 counts of murder,
Injury and death.
Oh my God!
Shocking new details
that has stunned the entertainment world.
This makes me a little nervous.
The hair stood up on my arms.
Just like in the movies.
What do you call this thing anyway?
Death
In entertainment.
Greetings, Deado Universe.
What's up, everybody?
How the heck are you? My name is Kyle Plouffe.
I'm Ben Kissel. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Death in Entertainment. Find us on Patreon at patreon.com/diebud. Diebud and OK Bud joined forces, or Diepod and OK Bud have joined forces to give you the best content possible throughout your week. Today's episode, my God. This murder changed American television. It changed America forever. Today we are discussing the murder of Adam Walsh and the birth of America's Most Wanted.
Yes, and we are missing Alejandro this week. Not missing, child missing.
No, he's still around.
Yeah, he'll be back next week, so don't worry.
Yes, there's no Amber Alert for Alejandro.
But there is an alert to start this episode.
Let's go.
Okay, so we got to start it where it all began with Mr. John Walsh. The formative years of a future advocate. John Walsh was born on December 26, 1945 in Auburn, New York, which that's a small industrial town in upstate New York, just outside of Syracuse.
All right.
Where the Orange play.
Perfect.
He was the oldest of 4 children born to John Edward Walsh Sr. and Jean Walsh.
I will say the Orange, the least creative name of all time.
It's garbage.
For a sports team. It's almost like the dude from Anchorman where he's just like, lamp, microphone. What should we name our college team? Orange.
Don't get peeled.
Mm-hmm.
How do you root for an orange? I don't know.
I do.
His family was extremely rooted in the Irish Catholic tradition. Which just means being angry at yourself and everybody else.
Absolutely, as you should.
Yeah,
as
self-hatred.
God wanted. Yeah.
His parents, they say, emphasized strong moral values, discipline, and a commitment to hard work, which just means blue collar.
Yes.
His father worked as a salesperson for a construction company, which is slightly, it's like light blue collar.
It's elevated. He's the one selling the, the bricks and the mortar. He's not putting it down.
Yeah, exactly. It provided the family with a modest but stable living, which is nice, That's America.
Absolutely. Upper middle class, most likely.
Yeah. Walsh grew up in a close-knit neighborhood where everybody knew each other.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Yes, because that emphasized that you could trust people.
Right. But then also, next thing you know, Harold was over at Becky's house during lunch.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should tell Tom.
Right. So everybody in his town, they trusted each other. They tried to look out for one another as best as they could, but like you said, they're also pretty gossipy, I would imagine.
Of course.
John attended private Catholic school in Auburn, at Our Lady of Mount Carmel High School.
Wow, that's all over Brooklyn.
It sounds delicious.
It really does. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Our Lady of Sprinkles is really top notch. They do a whole festival in Williamsburg. And it's fantastic. Yes, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
May you be blessed by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Nougat.
I love it. I feel like a Snickers bar for Christ.
For real. That'd be good communion. Snack sized.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, God, can you sweeten up your body a little bit?
Get some diabetes in here. But there, he was an average student academically, but showed a strong interest in history and civics, areas that reflect his later commitment to justice and public service.
Absolutely.
He participated in high school activities like sports. He was really good at football, apparently.
Okay.
So he's not scared of backing down from anybody.
Absolutely not. Upstate New York football, an aggressive game.
Yeah. During his youth, Walsh showed an entrepreneurial spirit, often working part-time jobs such as mowing lawns and caddying at local golf courses to earn extra money.
I caddied for 1 weekend.
Really?
Yeah, they never asked me back. I was like, when's lunch?
You were casting too much of a shadow in the
It was
shot.
awful, dude. The whole thing is stupid.
The post-World War II era was a time of significant change in America, and John grew up with the values of patriotism, community responsibility, and faith in public institutions, which
That's
isn't
changed.
the best thing. Yeah, it's
That has changed quite a bit.
big time. But it's, again, being very trusting of, the institutions and people in general.
I mean, it's rose-colored glasses, but it does seem like a simpler time, even though I'm sure it wasn't, because everyone was hiding under their desks because they thought that was going to help them survive a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah, that too.
But it does seem like white picket fences, warm apple pie,
Yeah.
old school Americana.
Family was central to his life. He spent a lot of his time with his extended relatives and learned early about loyalty and the importance of personal responsibility. After high school, John attended the University at Buffalo, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in history in 1967. And this university at Buffalo, it's not University of Buffalo, it's University at Buffalo.
Okay.
It's nothing to sneeze at. We got notable alumni that include, Death and Entertainment regular Janine Pirro.
Whoa, Janine Pirro from Fox News?
Yeah.
Dude, I've met Janine Pirro many times.
She seems like she'd be hot in person and
She's
cool.
real mean. And when she takes off her makeup, it's like, you're Bill O'Reilly? It's crazy, bro. She yells at everybody all the time, and she's really tiny and scary.
Oh my God. She's been on the Death and Entertainment shit list for a long time. We got Wolf Blitzer coming from this school.
I've also met Wolf.
He's
very tiny as well.
Yeah, little salt and pepper shakers, those two.
Yeah, weird looking in real life. Huge head.
Khalil Mack, who plays for our Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh.
Terry Gross from NPR, who got into it with Hillary Clinton. That's the NPR host that I was telling you about, that Hillary was like, I never said I was against gay marriage. And she was like, yes, you did.
Right.
James Starks of the Green Bay Packers. And the list goes on to end right there, pretty much.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. Significant. At Buffalo.
Yes.
Significant alumni.
Yeah. It's just interesting because at that time, John Walsh had no aspirations to be in the media like all these folks. He was just a guy that wanted to broaden his understanding of American history and move on to, bigger and better things.
Right.
He graduated in 1967 and immediately took off for the glitz and the glamour of Hollywood, Florida.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Honey, we're going to Hollywood. Florida.
I hate when big towns have other major famous cities' names.
I've been to Hollywood, Florida. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably filming more stuff there now than Hollywood, California.
That's true. John actually got a job immediately working in the luxury hotel business. He worked in hotel management and luxury resort development, which at the time was booming because everyone was like, oh, I'm just going to go down to Florida and die.
I wonder if he had anything to do with the Margaritaville.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So he wasn't just some hotel clerk. He was involved in high-end development and marketing, often working with investors directly and management groups to build, promote, and sell luxury hotel properties.
Oh.
So he had a whole bunch of skills, sales and marketing, management, and development of projects from construction to operations. So he was doing everything.
Dang. And I wasn't just fantasizing. Hollywood, Florida has one of the best Margaritavilles in the world. It's right on the beach. I stayed there
really?
many times. Yeah.
Oh, it's like a whole resort
It's a Margaritaville, baby.
Wow.
Only the best. They got big old sandal when you walk in. You see a big sandal.
I've been to two, and one of them's at Universal City Walk here, and the other one's at Universal in Orlando, Florida. But they're just the restaurants. I didn't know that they had like a whole resort.
Dude, when I was on the Lam, I spent 2 weeks at Margaritaville.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasting away, baby.
Yeah.
Cheeseburgers in paradise.
Pretty much. It was like the opposite of wasting away, though, because I was eating a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gaining.
Gaining a ton at Margaritaville.
So, yeah, he would negotiate with city developers, officials, and financiers.
Well-respected guy.
Yes. He promoted Florida as the luxury destination to wealthy tourists and investors, which is...
It's true.
It worked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so humid. After coming to California, Florida used to be one of my favorite places to go when I was a kid. I had an aunt that lived near Disney, and it was awesome.
Sure.
But now I've gone back. I'm like, I am covered in film the whole time.
Right.
I just feel gross.
Yeah, my folks they are in Fort Lauderdale area. I mean, it's nice, but again, I don't think I could live there. It does seem it's a special kind of sun.
Yeah, and it rains every day at noon and 4 o'clock, and then you just got to deal with it. Mm-hmm. It's brutal.
Yeah.
So yes, he eventually became a successful executive, but during that time, he met Reve, his wife, his soon-to-be wife. They met in the late 1960s while John was working in Florida, and they married in 1971. By all accounts, theirs was a strong relationship built on mutual love, ambition, and a shared dream of building a family together. So they actually went the traditional route, which is you get married first, and then you have a kid, which in my family, it's you have a kid and then go, might as well just get married now.
Right, kind of, yeah. Put the horse before the cart or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the cart before the horse. Right, well, then you have to get married.
Right.
It's called sandbagging. That's a good thing to do.
The couple lived a relatively normal, happy life, and then they settled in South Florida. In 1974, they welcomed their first child, Adam Walsh, into the world.
Oh, Adam.
Adam was born November 14th, 1974 in Hollywood, Florida. And his parents doted on him. They described him as a happy, intelligent, gentle child. The Walshes were a young, upwardly mobile couple. That's just fancy words for they were making that money.
They could walk? Yeah, that's actually pretty good for Florida if you can walk.
They're upright. They had opposable thumbs.
You better watch out for those scooters in Florida. They don't care at all.
Yeah, they'll go right through your windshield.
Seriously. Everyone drives golf carts, too.
Yeah, hammered.
It's so weird.
John, like you said, went to work every day. Reve was a stay-at-home mom, and they were thriving.
Nice.
Adam was described as a kind and curious boy. He was friendly, polite, and had a love for the outdoors. Family and neighbors said he loved fishing, swimming, and playing with his friends.
Oh.
He was especially close with his mother, as all of us guys are. We're all mama's boys.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gots to be. And my mom was also a stay-at-home mother, but we took in foster children, and she would also take in, I guess we ran a nursery, basically, at my home. So I loved my mom very much, and I bought her a house in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm done.
There you go.
My mission is complete on this earth.
Nice. He was reportedly very shy around strangers, but confident around the people he loved and trusted, which, that's like pretty much all of us, I guess.
Oh, it's kind of ironic, though. Mm-hmm. Oh, sad.
Yeah. His smile and soft-spoken nature made him endearing to nearly everyone he met. So in 1981, Adam had just finished kindergarten at St. Mark's Episcopal School.
Hard school.
Yeah.
You can see the blood on his knuckles already. Don't look like a 6-year-old.
Right.
Whap, whap.
Teachers remembered him as bright, eager to learn, and sweet-natured. He was about to start the first grade in the fall of 1981. But at this time, on July 27th, 1981, Adam, he was 6 years old at the time. He went with his mother, Reve, to the Sears department store at the Hollywood Mall in Hollywood, Florida.
It's a fun day for a kid when you get to go to the Sears, the Kmart.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Piggly Wiggly with your mom.
Woolworths, do you guys have those?
We didn't have a Woolworths in Wisconsin, but that was a guaranteed toy day.
Yes.
Because when Dad's there, you might not get the toy, or he'll talk you down.
Yeah.
But Mom, you're gonna get a top shelf toy.
But this was a routine outing for them. They did it all the time. Reve was shopping for lamps while Adam, like all the kids at the time, they were drawn to the video game display.
Of course.
You got to go. You see the bright lights. They actually have the controllers there. You can go kick kids out of the way. And
we talking Atari here then. July 27th, 1981. I was 6 days old.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So we're talking Atari, maybe the original NES?
We are talking Atari.
Atari, wow.
Atari 2600 demo unit.
Dang.
Yeah.
Simple time.
Yeah, so they got probably, Pong.
Right.
What, asteroids or something?
Asteroids, Tank Attack.
Yeah.
There was one in my dentist's office just to make that experience even worse.
Reve left Adam at the game station and just went a few aisles away with the understanding that she would return in a few minutes.
Yeah.
When she came back, Adam was gone.
This is literally just an advertisement for Amazon. Feel free to order. Feel free to order online your lamps.
Don't go out there.
That is so sad.
It's awful. And she spent 90 minutes running around trying to find exactly where he was. Was paging him in the store, and then she was asking the people in the store if they could page the whole mall. They're like, no, you got to go to a security guard. So she was running around trying to find them.
Oh, my God.
It was just a complete nightmare.
Totally.
And they finally called the police after 90 minutes had passed. By then, it's just, they're gone.
I mean, the best case scenario is you get the Adam Walsh come to the front desk, Adam Walsh, and you're in a little bit of trouble because you were in the toy department too long, and your mom is going to be slightly perturbed.
Yeah.
But this is far worse.
Yeah. Store employees finally came out and said they asked him to leave because there was a group of kids there and they all started a fight at the Atari station.
What?
So there was some roughhousing or an argument, and
He's 6 years old.
they misidentified him to be a part of the group.
Oh, my God.
So they were like, hey, everyone, get out. Bye.
Oh, Lord.
And so there was definitely some commotion near the video game display.
I want to play as the left Pong.
Yeah.
I want to play as the left Pong. Now we fight.
Yup. And now they're all kicked out.
I mean, really, it's a testament to how boring those games were. Nowadays, kids are too enamored to fight.
Right. It's believed, like I said, Adam was mistaken for one of the older kids and was told to leave with them. And then the kids just left him. Witnesses claim they saw a young boy waiting outside the store near the exit and seemingly distressed. It's assumed that Adam was taken from just outside the store due to its proximity right near the mall's west entrance.
Okay.
So that Sears, all those department stores, Macy's, Sears, they're all in the corners of the mall. So it's right there when you get in.
Yeah, they were the cornerstone stores.
Yeah, literal.
Yeah, it was like we had a Shopko at ours, and then a J.C. Penney on the other end.
Yeah, JCPenney was big, Sears, all those.
Those were your flagships. Those were the ones that really kept the mall going.
Yeah.
So you could have a KB Toys in the middle.
Yes. So the initial response and investigation, when Reve realized Adam was missing, she searched the store, contacted mall security, who she described as shockingly lax.
I mean, is it? Is it shockingly lax?
Yeah. At this time, there really wasn't any system or anything. They were just like, you'll find your kid. Like, get away from
Right.
it. We all.
There's Sears security guards in Hollywood, Florida, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I actually took this job because I got a probation officer and they said I need work.
Right. In the made-for-TV movie about this, the mom, Reve, is going to mall security, and he's like, you can call the cops if you want.
Yeah, just call the cops.
It's like, dude, you have the same fucking outfit on. You can't help.
Name's actually Paul Blart. There's going to be a movie about me.
Yeah, so like I said, police weren't called till 90 minutes later, and early efforts were very uncoordinated and ineffective. So over the next 2 weeks, the Walsh family launched a massive search, contacting media outlets and distributing flyers, which is a practice that was not common before Adam's case.
It's just so shocking. You never know what happens when you wake up in the morning. Just going to Sears, normal day.
Yeah.
And then the first revelation of like, where's my kid? And it's like, all right, I'll find him. He's probably in the toy section. 90 minutes later, he's got to be somewhere. 2 weeks later.
It's brutal.
Just unbelievable. Life changes so fast.
Yeah. The response from the police and the media was sluggish as protocols for missing children at the time were severely lacking.
We don't care right now.
Yeah.
I guess we don't care about the children going missing right now.
Yeah, at this point in 1981, it is very tough.
Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Walsh. Turns out he ran away, wanted to join the circus. You ever see the movie Dumbo?
2 weeks after Adam disappeared, it was 16 days to be exact, August 10th, 1981, a severed head was found in the drainage canal 120 miles away near Vero Beach, Florida. The remains were positively identified as Adam Walsh through dental records.
Oh, my God. 120 miles? So was he alive throughout that When was he actually killed? Do they know?
So they think he was killed relatively quickly.
Okay.
It says the cause of death was asphyxiation.
Okay.
And the decapitation likely occurred post-mortem.
Oh, my God.
Due to decomposition, the time of death and other forensic details were difficult to determine.
Oh.
But they're sure that he was killed before, and then I think it's the lack of blood or dripping or something, because once your heart stops, your blood's not pumping, you don't lose as much blood.
It's never good when they can only find out who you are by your dental records.
I know.
That's not good at all.
And that's going to make the first trip to my dentist with my son super fucking scary and sad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're prepping for if we need to identify you.
Well, nowadays they got other stuff. There's DNA, not just dental stuff anymore. I mean, if your kid's killed, we'll find the killer. Don't worry, Kyle.
Oh, that's good.
Don't even worry about it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, no, Caden's not going to be taken. He's already the size of a linebacker.
Yeah, he really is. He's very difficult to pick up.
He is adorable.
Very hard to abduct. So John and Reve, they are completely distraught. Their body of their son was never found. They only found the head.
Oh, my God.
So we don't know what happened to the body.
Oh.
John and Reve Walsh, they become advocates for missing children, leading to the establishment of the Adam Walsh Child Resource Center.
Okay. So did he quit his job at this point? Were they 100% focused on activism now? Or?
Yes. Yeah, there was no turning back anymore. He couldn't go back to building a hotel. He just...
Yeah.
They were so distraught and
Right.
They never wanted this to happen to anyone else ever again.
And this is their only child, right?
At this time, yes.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Which is crazy. They do, spoiler alert, go on to have 3 more kids, and that is a testament in itself to their relationship, because people leave if you get a cold.
Right.
Like, you're too sick for me. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And the fact that they stayed through the loss of their first child that,
Right.
They love more than the world itself is insane that they stuck together.
Especially just such a traumatic way, such a traumatic death.
Yep.
God dang.
So this is where everything changes. Legislatively, there's a lot of achievements. In 1982, the murder of Adam Walsh was instrumental in the passage of the Missing Children's Act, which allows the entry of missing children's information into the FBI's National Crime Information Center database.
There was one senator just being like, well, do we have to investigate all of them?
Yeah.
I got a couple of kids in the floorboards here in North Carolina.
Yeah, don't look at my state.
Right.
1984, it contributes to the enactment of the Missing Children's Assistance Act, leading to the creation of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is what the Adam Walsh Child Resource Center became.
Okay.
It also led to the creation of our favorite thing growing up that totally didn't scare the shit out of us at all, the missing children pictures on milk cartons.
Right, that was awful. I always thought if you drank the milk, you became one of them.
Yeah, exactly. You just your picture goes right into it.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm drinking chocolate milk. What do you want me to do about Tim? Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find this kid today.
Yeah, I don't know if I have time.
Right.
Walmart. This is also weird. Walmart created a program called Code Adam, which is the precursor.
Sounds like a new Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Code Adam.
Code Adam. You want to get diabetes? Lose your head? All right. Come on. That's a joke.
Oh, man.
That's a joke. Come on.
Jeez. I mean, we're going to have a few laughs here.
Yeah.
Other brick and mortar retailers actually adopted this Code Adam. This is pretty much what happened. They would have to place a Code Adam decal at the front of the business to let everybody know that they're Code Adam friendly. And then,
I mean, who didn't?
Well,
I don't care if kids go missing here at JB's Hardware.
there are probably people ripping them down. Like, there
See,
are some fucking creeps out there.
The thing is, if we stop people from abducting kids, my ducktail sales are going to dip.
Yeah.
My hacksaw sales are going to dip. You got to think about it from the hardware perspective.
Right. So employees at these businesses were trained to take the following steps. If a visitor reports a child is missing, a detailed description of the child is obtained, which should include their name, age, hair color, eye color, approximate height and weight, clothing, and a photo if they have one.
Also, their sign.
Yes.
You want their astronomical sign.
The employee goes to the nearest in-house telephone and pages Code Adam, describing the child's physical features and clothing. What were they wearing?
Okay, not like that. Not like that, Kyle. It's not a sex line.
No.
So just tell me, what was he wearing?
I mean, only for the guy that's abducting them.
Yeah. Oh, God.
The visitor will be directed to the entrance to help identify the child. It seems all like it should have always been happening.
Yes,
this is like
happening before.
Other than cashiers who need to, keep taking in the money, All employees search likely hiding places for the missing child. The police are immediately called. If the child is located and appears to be lost or unharmed, their identity must be verified. If the child is located with an adult that is not their parent or guardian, reasonable efforts should be employed to delay the departure of the adult. So,
yes.
What are you guys up to?
Yeah. Wow, now I'm actually understanding why YouTube vigilantes have taken over busting pedophiles instead of the government and police.
Yeah, like, these are some good ideas here.
Yeah. So what are you doing with that kid that's not yours? Because you know how sometimes you just hang out with a 6-year-old that's not yours at the local Ralph's?
After this child is either positively identified or reunited with the guardian, all collected information has been turned over to the police. An employee will page the store again to cancel the Code Adam. Code Adam's over.
Canceled. God, it's like Firefest.
Yeah.
I was just getting into this.
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't remember hearing Code Adam ever growing up.
I don't remember that either.
Legislation was enacted by Congress in 2003 to mandate that all federal office buildings or base or post exchanges on military bases adopt the program.
In 2003?
Yeah.
So 20 years plus later?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
30 years plus? What is math?
Mm-hmm.
It's time. No, 20 plus.
So those are all the creations that are happening.
Okay.
Plus one more. In early 1988, millions in America heard this message.
Starting tonight, America just may be a safer place. America's Most Wanted. Television's first weekly manhunt is a new weapon in the battle against crime. And it's sending America's Most Wanted rapists, robbers, and murderers back to jail. Host John Walsh, whose 6-year-old son Adam was brutally murdered, leads this crusade against crime. David James Roberts, sentenced to death for the arson murders of the Patrick family, who returned home to find him inside waiting for them. During transport, Roberts used a derringer to overpower guards and fled. Then, America's Most Wanted went after him.
Your phone tips led the FBI to David James Roberts' hideout.
So their first episode, they're already catching people. This is incredible.
Man, I am amped up. I am ready to go.
Exactly. So that's what was different about this show. America's Most Wanted. You would think it's scary because you're like, oh my God, there's criminals around us. But this would actually amp you up, even as a kid, to be like, let's get these motherfuckers.
I had my little fake police badge.
Yeah.
And my little fake gun. I was ready to rock and roll.
Because at the time, also, Unsolved Mysteries was on, and they were just pretty much like, you're fucked. Aliens are coming to get you, or there's a child molester in your bed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. Good night.
The bed is a molester. Yeah. You're being molested by your mattress.
Yeah. So this one, it made you want to run through a wall to fucking catch these guys.
Dang. Also, they really fill you with a lot of information there.
Yeah.
And for him, for Mr. Walsh, having to relive that constantly, I wonder if that was a motivator where he wanted to remember Adam.
Yeah.
Was that where he's like, I remember the pain and I'm still going through the pain, so that's my motivation to make sure this doesn't happen to anybody else, or at least we get some justice?
It is tough because even this show started just a matter of years after. It's like, dude, I'd be like crying every fucking episode.
Yeah. What about 7 years after he was, his head was found?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that is such a traumatic event that now you're trying to stop it from happening for other people. And I'd be like, fucking can't keep it together.
I could totally see it going the other way where it's like, I do a show about water slides and water slide accessories.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I wouldn't want anything to do with trauma
Totally
or
checked out.
murder because it's just so triggering.
I know. It's so crazy. So on February 7th, 1988, America sees America's Most Wanted for the first time on Fox. And it was a program aimed at profiling fugitives and soliciting public assistance in capturing them. America's Most Wanted turned every living room in America into its own FBI headquarters.
Dang.
And I didn't realize there's actually some major gets that they got, like capturing fugitives wise.
Okay.
John List, he in 1971 murdered his wife, mother, and 3 children, then vanished.
Dang.
And after 18 years on the run, a viewer recognized his updated age progression bust done by a forensic sculptor.
Yo, that stuff was good back then.
Those
Everyone's
were scary,
like,
though.
AI. But yes, back in the day, they would just clay it.
Yeah.
They would use clay, and they were pretty accurate.
But those would be like the scariest part because it was like Uncanny Valley, where it's like something was off and this person's evil and it's something. It's fucking possessed.
Well, usually the person on the lam, they didn't change enough. They'd get a mustache. You got to gain 500 500, 600 pounds. You got to do something so extreme where you don't even look like the same person at all.
Yeah. So his capture happened in 1989, first year of the show being on the air. He was living under the alias Robert Clark in Virginia. He was remarried and was working at an accounting firm.
Wow.
This guy who just killed 5 people.
I wonder, that must have been a shock for his new wife.
Well, he's like, well, I didn't kill you.
Yeah, well, you should feel lucky. See, I really loved you.
Yeah.
The way I didn't murder you and all your family.
Yep. David James Roberts was another. He was a convicted killer who escaped prison and then kidnapped a family.
Family.
He was featured, a woman and her 2 children. He was featured on the very first episode, February 7th, 1988, and was captured 4 days after the episode aired.
Imagine you're watching, and all of a sudden the person that you're watching with is on the screen.
And he just is like eating popcorn too. Like,
I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm just going to go to the bathroom really quick, and you'll never see me again.
Oh, God. I didn't realize also they were responsible for taking down the Elizabeth Smart kidnappers.
Really?
Yeah, 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart was abducted from her home in Salt Lake City in 2002. And national coverage featured her abductor's sketches and descriptions, and a viewer tip from America's Most Wanted led to the rescue of Elizabeth and the arrest of Brian David Mitchell and Wanda Barzee.
Oh, they were so freaking scary and weird looking.
Crackheads, dude.
Yes.
So scary.
Wow, so that's amazing. Yeah, Elizabeth Smart, that story was everywhere.
That was another one
2000s.
like John Benet Ramsey, where they thought the parents had something to do with it. Because they were just rich people that were like, I don't know, our daughter just went missing randomly in the middle of the night. And people were like, really?
Was it a religious thing?
I think probably.
It was something to do with, I don't know. But
weird Mormonism out there.
It could be.
We don't know.
Could be.
The railroad killer, Rafael Resendez of Ramirez.
Ooh.
He was a drifter who hopped trains and committed brutal murders across the U.S.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. He was on brand anyway. He put the work in.
Yeah. After his profile aired, the intense public pressure led him to surrender himself at the U.S.-Mexico border. And I'm sure he probably did it on the U.S. side because Mexican prisons don't fuck around.
Well, the U.S. prisons aren't that much better.
You get 3 hots in a cot.
Kind of. I've seen it. 3 lukewarms and a brick, really. It's more of a concrete slab.
Yeah.
But sure. I do love that he's like, do I get the money for turning myself in?
Yeah, can I get some commissary here, please?
I read a story about that a couple of months ago where a guy turned himself in and wanted the
give me the money.
Wanted the money for finding the killer, and they were like, no, you're the killer, so you don't get it for turning yourself in.
Yeah,
but I think they should give him $100 in the commissary.
That's true, but this was proof that even serial killers felt the heat from this show. Like, this is such a crazy thing that's happening.
How do you even find it on the railways? Like, what TV did he have?
I mean, there could have been like a nice Amtrak he found himself on that had a TV, and he was like, oh, shit.
Dang.
Angela and Jennifer Rowe, they were kidnapped by their mother during a bitter custody battle, and tipsters spotted them at a homeless shelter after seeing their faces on the show.
Ugh.
So,
yeah, that's good.
You know, a lot of people.
So those are, not everyone was killed. They saved lives.
Yes.
That's great.
FBI's 10 Most Wanted, they got multiple people. They got 17 of the FBI's top 10 fugitive over the years on the air.
Dang.
That is massive.
I mean, that's the creme de la creme. That's really the list you want to be on if you're a criminal, because then you're top 10.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm almost top 100 in Madden 25, so I kind of feel that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel cool.
It's kind of like the same thing.
It's kind of like the same thing.
This is crazy. Like the America's Most Wanted producing team and John Walsh himself, they would work hand in hand with the FBI on the big cases.
Wow.
It's fucking so weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre, this television personality just walking in as if he's been deputized, but in some ways he has.
Yeah, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. I know what I'm talking about.
It's SAG. Yeah, it's fine. FBI, SAG, you get it.
Yeah. And lastly, one of the biggest gets that the show got were the DC snipers.
Whoa, they caught the DC snipers?
Yes. In 2002, a series of deadly sniper attacks around Washington, D.C. happened, and America's Most Wanted aired critical information about a blue Chevrolet Caprice that was connected to the shootings, and the vehicle was spotted at a rest stop, and tips from the show poured in.
Dude, I'm so pissed about the DC sniper. Obviously, it was really scary and stuff because everyone was getting popped in DC, even though he didn't kill any of the politicians. That would have been so fun to see their brains explode. Yeah. But there was a movie made about it, and it fucking sucked.
Really?
It was so boring. It was called like Blue Cadillac or some shit, and it was so boring. I was like, how are you going to make a serial sniper not interesting?
Yeah, and how are they not going to be white?
Well,
that was a big thing.
That was, everyone was like, this is one of us. One of our Caucasian brothers was doing this. But no, diversity was an exclude. It was DEI, folks. It was woke.
And inclusion. Yeah, it was a woke spree.
It was a woke spree. He was a woke sniper.
So while all this is going on, he's helping America figure out all their crimes and their criminals, putting everybody away. But the police still had not made an arrest. But there was a theory that did not go away.
In the death of Adam.
In the death of Adam.
Okay.
There was a theory that the one, the only, Jeffrey Dahmer may have been involved in the 1981 abduction and murder of 6-year-old Adam Walsh.
I've heard this theory.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to push back, though, because can I push back?
Sure.
Dahmer was not a pedophile. He was having sex with a 15-year-old Filipino boy. So in that, but
so
this really
way.
wasn't Dahmer's MO.
Yes.
Children and the beheading, because he actually would have kept, that's disgusting, but he would have kept Adam's skull. And he would have made a shrine out of it because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to have these people close with him and they would never leave him.
Yeah.
It was obviously psychotic, but it doesn't seem like something that Dahmer would do.
So,
To his credit.
Yes.
To Jeffrey Dahmer's credit, I don't think he did this.
We didn't know we'd be saying that today.
No.
Let's see the evidence here.
Okay.
Arguments in favor of the Dahmer theory here. Proximity and timeline. Dahmer was in Miami Beach in July 1981.
He's a closeted gay man from the Midwest. That's where they go.
Yes. And he was seeking to escape scrutiny after being discharged from the Army. So he was holding his head in shame.
Oh.
Yeah. The Hollywood Mall was less than 25 minutes away from where he was staying. A worker at the nearby Sunshine Motel later said Dahmer stayed there at the time of the abduction.
Okay.
There were a few eyewitnesses that gave the descriptions of a young, thin, white man with a crew cut and glasses seen at the mall with a child resembling Adam.
I do love whenever there's a hotel named Sunshine, that means that the people that are in there are sleeping throughout the day because they're all addicted to drugs.
Ah, yeah.
So it's mostly active at nighttime, isn't it?
It is. Composite sketches that were made at the time are pretty similar to a young Jeffrey Dahmer. Dahmer was known for luring young boys and teens, dismemberment and decapitation, and keeping body parts as trophies. If you remember, we haven't found the body ever.
Oh, so you think he's just got the corpse?
He discarded the head, kept the corpse.
I feel like he wants the head.
Maybe.
Okay.
A former detective named Joe Matthews, who reinvestigated the case years later, became convinced Dahmer could have been involved.
Now, Joe Matthews, is he one of these guys that just goes on television, though?
Yeah, probably.
Try to get his MSNBC and Fox News time?
Well, yeah, there was one guy who said he was a witness. He was at Sears on July 27th, 1981, and said he met Dahmer face to face.
Face to face.
Yeah, so he knows that Dahmer was there. And he goes, "How do I know? Read my book."
On sale at Sears.
Yeah, and it was $30 for like a self-published. I was like, all right, that's a little too much.
That's a lot. Yeah.
In 1991, after Dahmer's arrest, an inmate named Willis Morgan claimed he saw Dahmer at the Hollywood Mall the day Adam disappeared. So now we have multiple people saying they saw Dahmer at the Hollywood Mall.
Skinny, white, shaggy, glasses, 1981, Florida. I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Arguments against it that Dahmer himself denied it. He confessed to an exhaustive detail, 17 murders, providing maps, timelines, and methods. And when asked about Adam Walsh, he vehemently denied involvement.
Yeah.
So he was like, "That I don't fuck with kids that young."
Right.
Not a piece of shit.
No, not at all.
He was cooperative with police throughout his interrogations and did not hide any of his murders, even obscure ones that they didn't even know about.
Right, that's the thing. I also, the Dahmer files, it's fascinating. At one point, they talked to his neighbor. He lived in Milwaukee. It was a mostly black apartment complex, which is also why he was able to do what he did for so long. And they were talking to one of his neighbors, and she was talking about how he would like give her sandwiches and stuff.
Oh, God.
And it's amazing because she may have eaten the human meat sandwich.
Yeah.
And then she probably loved it and was like, I can't get that again. Because I don't think Subway is making human tongue sandwiches.
Oh, God.
But my God, that complex was later blown up.
Yes, that is not around anymore.
No.
Okay, so here's my pushback, though.
Okay, pushback.
Here we go. With the Dahmer theory, maybe he fucked up. Maybe he did want to kill kids, but deep down, after doing this, realized how much heat it got and was like, oh, I'm only going to fuck with young black kids that nobody is going to try to find. Because this is too much heat.
But I don't think he was sexually attracted to minors. I think
Did he have to be sexually attracted to kill them?
Yeah, because that was half of the game.
Yeah.
He liked the swimmer's body. He liked the male physique, a mature male physique.
Right.
Now, granted, again, they can be young.
Semi-mature.
Semi-mature. But I just don't think that he would look at a 6-year-old like that.
Yeah. They never found any evidence, hair, DNA, fingerprints that ever tied him to Adam Walsh. And there's never been a connection that's been determined between them.
I mean, he liked big penises.
Oh, yeah?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
And he could not lie.
He could not lie. That's what that song's all about.
Yeah. The police and the FBI rejected it, and even John Walsh himself has rejected that theory.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened is this guy, Otis Toole.
Now, this guy's got a big dick. He's real stupid.
One of the scariest looking people I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
He confessed in detail to abducting Adam and killing him in his car.
Okay.
He gave details not released to the public, like how he decapitated the boy with a machete.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But I don't even know how they could know a machete. I guess there's like, serrated blades versus not. And I guess that it wasn't serrated.
Yeah, he also worked with Henry Lee Lucas.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. They were the drifter killers.
They were disgusting. They were both fucking each other and killing people across America.
Real nasty in Texas.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Disgusting people.
Stinky.
Yeah. Police found the bloody carpet in his car and a pair of children's shoes that matched the description of Adam's shoes. Though a chain of custody, they lost the shoes and the bloody carpet.
Oh, my God. Come on.
So they fucked up so many times.
They really did.
From the sluggish, reaction to it to losing evidence, like crucial evidence. You finally get the kid's head. You finally get the bloody carpet. You get these shoes. And then you go, fuck. I thought you had it.
How do you lose it?
It's gross. So Otis Elwood Toole, he was born March 5th, 1947 in Jacksonville, Florida. He's known for being a serial killer, arsonist, and frequent accomplice of Henry Lee Lucas. He had an IQ of around 75.
That's pretty good. Out of 100?
Yeah, he wishes. This is another reason why a lot of people didn't believe him, because he's confessed to hundreds of murders, most of which were false.
I think he's real dumb.
Yeah. He's mentally ill, manipulative, and attention-seeking.
Yes, he is.
So he claimed in 1983 he was arrested. He was in custody for unrelated murders. And he was like, well, I'm here. I might as well tell you about how I killed this kid in Hollywood, Florida.
I might as well.
He said he spotted Adam alone at the mall, lured him.
But he wasn't alone at the mall. He was with a group of kids, wasn't he?
Those kids fucked off because he wasn't with them.
Out. Okay, so he was outside the mall. Gotcha.
Yeah, so he was, waiting for his mom outside, like scared, like I'm kicked out. I can't go back in to find my mom. And
when you actually respect adults in some way, like an authority figure, it's a worker at Sears. You can go back in and find your mother.
Exactly. So he says that he lured him into his 1971 Cadillac using candy or promises of toys. And I'd be like, hey, the toys are in here, pal.
Yeah, the toys are in the store.
He drove north while Adam was screaming in the car, and he said he punched him unconscious when he wouldn't stop crying, and drove to his Jacksonville home, which nothing good happens in Jacksonville.
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much. I was there recently, and it's just a lot going on racially.
Yeah. Toole perfectly described the injuries and details that were never made public, including the weapon, and, there were consistencies with arson and his arson history.
Okay.
And like we said, they found the carpet in his car that had the blood stains matching Adam's type and a pair of children's shoes and a machete. So all those were inexplicably lost.
Unbelievable.
Hollywood PD.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. So even though he's a complete liar, a manipulator, the police were like, well, that's our guy. And then John actually agreed.
Okay, so John believes that Otis Toole killed Adam.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
So on December 16th, 2008, the Hollywood Police Department officially closed the case, naming Otis Toole as Adam Walsh's murderer. Meanwhile, Otis died of cirrhosis of the liver in prison at 49 years old.
Well, he was drinking. He was only 49?
Yeah, dude.
Yo, search Otis Toole.
In that picture that shows up, that's when he's 36.
Oh, my God. Oh, that
we look great.
Oh, we're doing fine. I mean, mild cirrhosis maybe, but hey, who doesn't have that at 43?
Yeah, so he died in 96. 12 years later, they're like, yeah, that was the guy.
Wow. Well, that's some closure anyway. I mean, it's actually worse. Poor Adam. The last person he saw was stinky Otis Toole.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Awful.
So they went on CBS, the early morning show, and
this is the Walshes?
Announced it. Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier, police in Florida have officially named the man who murdered 6-year-old Adam Walsh back in 1981, finally bringing this case to a close. Adam's parents, John and Reve Walsh, are with us this morning.
Good morning.
I watched part of the news conference yesterday. There was so much emotion in that room. What was that day? What was yesterday like for the both of you? Reve, why don't you start?
Well, we've always called it bittersweet, which capsulizes it, but it was more sweet yesterday because it's something that's not going to change. It's never going to go away. Adam's never going to come back. So this is the best of a poor situation. 27 years of frustration was not anything I would wish on anyone, but the fact that it happened in my lifetime was my goal.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when the police called you and said, you know what, we want to close the books on this?
New chief, real man, apologized to us yesterday, said that some previous people involved in the case way back made some huge mistakes and had basically a defensive position. And it was a very tough day for me because I spent 2 weeks in that police department looking for that little boy, the 2 worst weeks of my life, and went back repeatedly year after year and argued and said, I think you know who killed Adam. It's here.
Yeah.
And was turned down repeatedly. And a new chief comes in and says, you know, I'm going to review it. And 2 real heroes of mine are a guy named Kelly Hancock, who was a former prosecutor in Broward, retired with 300 undefeated homicide cases and said, I put guys on death row with less evidence than they have about Otis Toole. Joe Matthews, retired homicide detective, who was hired by the Hollywood police initially to help with the investigation, then fired and put this together. Took it to Chief Wagner a year ago and said, there's no question. Huge mistakes have been made in this case. Yeah. Otis Toole killed Adam Walsh.
Right.
And Chief Wagner said, we owe it to you. And it was a really tough day. We had our children with us, our 3 children who've been born since Adam. But it ended a really long, torturous journey. And
brutal.
I can't believe that a cop wouldn't take this on as a crusade. It's so bizarre that they, as he said, had a defensive position from the police department perspective, because don't you want this solved?
Right.
I mean, it's going to be a great credit to you. You can write the book. You can be like, I'm the guy who solved the crime. You can make money off of this if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't make any sense that they would be so... That they would inhibit the process so much.
Yeah, I mean, once you realize that you mess up, you then have to go in a defensive mode and be like, and start arguing for the reasons why other people didn't do it, because you've fumbled the ball so many times.
Well, sometimes you just got to eat it and be like, "Yep, mistake was made."
Yeah,
and let's move forward and make things better.
John said, "It's the not knowing that has eaten away at us for all these years. Yeah. Now we know."
Absolutely. And also, to your point, the speculation, well, with the parents, what if they did, all that kind of chatter and bullshit.
Yeah.
Obviously, the internet isn't what it was, what it is now. It wasn't what it was then. But that's got a grate on you too.
Yeah.
Just the disgusting nature of people.
Exactly. And seeing it every single week across America, trying to help everybody else do it.
Yeah.
Not only was he doing this show, he ended up doing the John Walsh show, which was like a daytime talk show, which focused on crime and justice issues. And then actually, we'll watch a video real quick, clip of him talking about how this new law got put into action as well, right before the 40th anniversary.
All right.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. 40 years ago today, on July 27, 1981, my beautiful 6-year-old son, Adam, was abducted and murdered. The pain of losing Adam stays with us every day, but my wife, Reve, and I have made it our life mission to do what we can to help protect children. In 1984, we helped create the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And for 25 years, I hosted the Fox television show, America's Most Wanted, which helped track down more than 1,600 fugitives. But I'm most proud of the fact that the show helped bring home more than 60 stranger abducted children alive. These days, I host a television show called In Pursuit with my son, Callahan. And we focus on the same mission, catching the bad guys and finding missing kids. I'm proud that my family is still fighting for justice. We're also very honored that 15 years ago today, the Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act became law. It was signed in the Rose Garden by President Bush. The federal statute was designed to protect the public, especially children, from violent sex offenders. It implemented a more comprehensive nationalized system for sex offender registration. The U.S. Marshals Service is the lead federal law enforcement agency responsible for investigating sex offender registration violations. They work closely with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and partner with state and local law enforcement all across this country. They also get support from SMART, the Department of Justice Office for sentencing, monitoring, apprehending, registering, and tracking. My family and I are honored that this law, named after my son, has made such a tremendous impact. And on this 15th year anniversary of the Adam Walsh Act, I want to say thank you to everybody involved. Thank you for all the hard work you do every day to help make this country safer. And God bless the Marshals. Thank you.
Yeah. You can now look up the sex offenders in your neighborhood or in your area. And
it's not good.
It's a very zitty map. There's a lot of red dots on there.
A lot of blemishes on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because we're in LA or if that's where it looks like every major metropolitan area, but that is some scary shit.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that John Walsh was able to do all this stuff to help people out and make sure that these people were put on registries and we can find them. Because not everybody looks like Otis Toole.
Right. Not everyone is a walking, obvious serial killer.
Frankenstein.
Right.
So, yeah, what a legacy. 1,600 people apprehended through America's Most Wanted. Over 60 children were brought back by a stranger abducted
That's the most
criminals.
important in so many ways, too, because they saved a life.
Yes.
Saved a family from going through what they went through. Really powerful.
Exactly. And the stranger ones, the hardest ones to figure out because people who are kidnapped, it's like 99% of the time it's someone, it's like your aunt.
Yeah, it's your aunt who just wants to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times there is something to be said about the way that our court system works when it comes to keeping children away from certain family members who maybe don't deserve that, whatever. There's a lot of emotions that come into it.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes, most of the time, it is a mother or a father that take their children away.
Exactly. So, yeah, in 2014, he began The Hunt with John Walsh on CNN. Pretty much, it's all the same thing. It's all the same show. In 2019, In Pursuit with John Walsh, same exact thing. In 2024, like he said, Fox announced the return of America's Most Wanted with John Walsh resuming his role as host alongside his son Callahan Walsh, which is pretty incredible.
Wow, they're like the Guy Fieri of crime.
Yeah.
Because Guy Fieri works a lot with his son now, Hunter. You ever watch that, Hunter Fieri?
I haven't seen Hunting in Flavortown.
Hunter.
Hunter. Well, I still haven't seen that either.
He's pretty funny. Good kid. He's a good kid.
Nice. But yeah, now it's the family business, and I think that's
A business they don't want. I'm sure he would have much rather just made Margaritavilles. Yeah. That would have been so nice. You could have so much money.
Yeah.
Live on a beachfront.
Right.
Not have to be a famous television personality for all the sad reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, to his point, they solved a lot and saved a lot.
Yeah, and that'll take us to...
Final thoughts.
I'm going to say this. God doesn't give us challenges that we can't overcome.
Ooh.
And the fact that this is their life. This was, let's say there is a greater power. This was why they're here, and they have saved so many people, and they sacrificed so much. And I have no idea how I would have reacted in this situation. I'd be really pissed off.
Yeah.
And knowing my personality type, I probably would have, been the worm in the bottom of a tequila bottle.
I'd be dead.
Yeah. So the fact that they were able to flip this and turn it into something positive.
Yeah.
For as sad and devastating as it is a testament to them.
Yeah.
And a testament to their willpower. And R.I.P. Adam Walsh, your memory lives on forever. And because of you, hundreds of people have been saved.
Yeah, this is literally like a historic event.
Yeah.
That will go down in American history because they did change the landscape of American television and law enforcement as we know it.
Absolutely. From the top down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pano's saying, what a strong family to carry that burden on their shoulders. R.I.P. Adam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that they stayed together and they're healthy and...
Yeah. That's the craziest
also,
thing.
to have the 3 children, that's difficult for them because obviously I'm sure they knew what happened at some point.
Yeah.
It's just the suffering is crazy. It's in their DNA at this point.
They said that, truthfully, they did almost break up because the stress on them was just,
I can't even
seemingly insurmountable, but they chose each other. Oof, I'm going to tear up just thinking about it.
Yep, I can't even imagine.
And, yeah, that's good on them. And with that...
Yeah, let's do it.
R.I.P. Adam, and we will go to a quick...
Uh-oh.
You've got mail.
Sweet.
We got a mailbag here.
We got a mailbag.
Holy hell, can you believe that?
Can you believe it? We end every episode with this.
Oh,
can you believe it?
Can you believe that? From cute to cursed, how the little rascals met their untimely demise. We got some good comments here. Oh, there's someone talking smack about the East Coast again.
Whoa!
McClinch, where you at, McClinch? They say, thank you, boys. I'm not a fan of the East Coast, but I'm a Wisconsin boy through and through. So Alejandro is my favorite, but I love you all. I don't know if they know if you're a Wisconsin boy or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, Wisconsin boys like the East Coast.
Yeah.
Come on now. East Coast is the Beast Coast.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's Beast.
Boom said, Jesus Christ, what a effing tragedy. Great job making that story palatable and entertaining.
Yes,
that's what we try to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Goblin Bomber said, love these guys. And we love you as well.
Thanks, Goblin Bomber.
Yeah.
Real nice. I love my Goblin Bombs.
I like my Goblin's bomb.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Again, check out OK Bud 4 days a week. You can shoot us an email at okbudpod@gmail.com as well. Mm-hmm. If you have any comments for any show, whatever, just let us know. Okay, everyone, hail yourself.
And until next week,
don't go dying on us now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have just heard
a true Hollywood murder mystery.
I have never seen anything like this before.
The movies, Broadway, music, television, all of it.
A place that manufactures nightmares.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap.
Good night. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon.